The lang Coortin Lewis Carroll the laddie she stood at her lattice high, wi her doggy at her feet. Thorough the lattice she can spy the passers in the street. Person Quo. There's one that standeth at the door, and turleth at the pin. Now speak and say, my popinjay, if I saw let him in. Person Quo. Then up and spake the popinjay that flew abune her head. Person Quo. Guy let him in that turls the pin, he cometh thee to wed. Person Quo. Oh, when he came the parlour in, a woeful man was he. Person Quo. And know ye ken your lover agent, see well that loveth thee? Person Quo. Person Quo. And how wot I ken ye loved me, sir, that have been sealing away? And how wot I ken ye loved me, sir? Ye never tlled me see. Person Quo. Said, Person Quo. Laddie dear, Person Quo. And the salt tear Cameron and doon his cheek. Person Quo. I have sent the tokens of my love this many and many a week. Person Quo. Oh, did na ye get the rings, laddie, the rings o' the gout see fine? I wot that I have sent to thee fourscore and nine. Person Quo. Person Quo. They came to me, Person Quo. Said that fair laddie. Person Quo. Wow, they were flimsy things. Person Quo. Said, Person Quo. That chain o' gowd, my doggy to howd, it is made o' tie self same rings. Person Quo. Person Quo. And did na ye get the locks o' my ain black hair, whilk I sent by post, whilk I sent by box, whilk I sent by the carrier. Person Quo. Person Quo. They came to me, Person Quo. Said that fair laddie. Person Quo. And I prithee send me mair. Person Quo. Said, Person Quo. That cushion see red, for my doggy's head, it is stuffed wi' tie locks o' hair. Person Quo. Person Quo. And did na ye get the letter, laddie, tied wi' a silken string, whilk I sent to thee frae the far country, a message of love to bring? Person Quo. Person Quo. It came to me frae the far country wi' its silken string in a, but it wasna prepaid. Person Quo. Said that high-born maid, Person Quo. See I guard them to get awa. Person Quo. Person Quo. Oh, ever Alec that ye sent it back, it was written see clerkly and well. Now the message it brought, and the boon that it sought, I must even say it mysel. Person Quo. Then up and spake the popinjay, see wisely counselled he. Person Quo. Now say it in the proper way, guy doon upon thy knee. Person Quo. The lover he turned baith red and pale, went doon upon his knee. Person Quo. O laddie, hear the way some tale that must be told to thee. Person Quo. For 5 lang years, and 5 lang years, I courted thee by looks, by nods and winks, by smiles and tears, as I had read in books. Person Quo. For 10 lang years, O weary hours, I courted thee by signs, by sending game, by sending flowers, by sending valentines. Person Quo. For 5 lang years, and 5 lang years, I have dwelt in the far country, till that thy mind should be inclined mair tenderly to me. Person Quo. Now 30 years are gone and past, I am come frae a foreign land, I am come to tell thee my love at last. O laddie, give me thy hand. Person Quo. The laddie she turned not pale nor red, but she smiled a pitiful smile. Person Quo. Thick a Coortin as yours, my man. Person Quo. She said Person Quo. Takes a lang and a weary while. Person Quo. And out and laughs the popinjay, a laugh of bitter scorn. Person Quo. A Coortin done and sick away, it ought not to be born. Person Quo. We that the doggy barked aloud, and up and doon he ran, and tugged and strained his chain o' gowd, all for to bite the man. Person Quo. Oh hush thee, gentle popinjay. Oh hush thee, doggy dear. There is a word I fain would say, it needeth he should hear. Person Quo. I ladder screamed that lad I fair to drown her doggy's bark. Ever the lover shouted mere to make that lad I hark. Shrill and more shrill the Perpunche upraised his angry squall. I trow the doggy's voice that day was louder than them all. The serving men and serving maids sat by the kitchen fire. They heard thick a din the parlor within as made them much admire. Out spake the boy in buttons, I ween he wasna thin. Ampersand Quo. Now I will ta' the parlor guy, and stay this deadly din? Ampersand Quo. And they have ta'en a kerchief, casted their kettles in, for I will ta' the parlor guy, and stay that deadly din. When on that boy the kettle fell to stay the fearsome noise, Ampersand Quo. Guy in, Ampersand Quo. They cried, Ampersand Quo. What air betide, thou prince of button boys? Ampersand Quo. Sin, he has ta'en a supple cane to swench that dog see fat. The doggy yowled, the doggy howled the louder I for that. Sin, he has ta'en a mutton bane. The doggy ceased his noise, and followed doon the kitchen stair that prince of button boys. Then sadly spake that lad I fair, wi' a frown upon her brow, Ampersand Quo. Oh dearer to me is my sma-doggy than a dozen sick as thou. Ampersand Quo. Ne use for sighs and tears, ne use at all to fret, sin ye've bide at sea well for 30 years, ye may bide a wee langer yet. Ampersand Quo. Sadly he crossed the floor and twirled at the pin, sadly went he through the door where sadly he came in. Ampersand Quo. Oh gin I had a Perpunche to fly aboon my head, to tell me what I ought to say, I had by this been wed. Ampersand Quo. Oh gin I find another lad I, Ampersand Quo. He said wi' sighs and tears, Ampersand Quo. I wot my Coortin shall not be another 30 years, Ampersand Quo. For gin I find a lad I gay, exactly to my taste, I'll pop the question, aye or nay, in 20 years at myest. Ampersand Quo.